Hello and welcome to episode 1. It is June, and to show support to the LGBTQ plus community and help spread awareness, most reading prompts and reading challenges will revolve around Pride Month. So locally here in the Philippines, we have Dexter and Alex hosting Spectrum Reads a Pride Month readathon. I'll link the blog post over at the description and check it out for more details about it. It has recommendations, reading prompts, and there's even a giveaway. So go check it out, and also check out the hashtag over at Instagram and Twitter to see a lot of great pictures and posts and recommendations about it. If you still need a little more push on what books to read, here are some of my recommendations. So first up, it's Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is one thick book. If you like thick books or want to try longer reads, then give this book a try. It's over 800 pages long, but the writing is easy to read that despite all those pages, I did not feel the length at all. I actually wanted to keep going. Unfortunately, it's a standalone. Yeah, and that's what I don't like about this book. There's not enough pages. It felt like it should have been a series, but instead shortened and lumped into this one huge book. There's a lot of things going on and a lot of side plots that each chapter the action just keeps on going. There's dragons and magic and self-discovery, secrets and lies and war, and yes, characters die. It's written in third person and jumps on a lot of different points of view, and there is a lot of characters. Despite the constant switching of point of view, it didn't really disrupt the flow for me, but I can see how this might not be a style others will enjoy. If you prefer a more linear storytelling, then this book might not be for you. Plot-wise, it has a bit of similar setup to Sarah J. Maas' Throne of Glass series, with all the court intrigue, politics, magic. But what makes this book better is how not every single prominent character is paired with someone romantically. Not everyone has romantic desires for someone or married by the end of the book. Also, characters die in the story. So next on the list, we have Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Ngan. The author of this book is of Malaysian descent, and I love how Asian culture and setting is injected into this story. It's a mix of East and Southeast Asian cultures, which threw me off a bit, but it's not that huge of a bother unless you're picky with that kind of detail. If you want to try reading a book with Asian representation in an Asian setting, you might enjoy this book. Trigger warning though, there's a lot of talk about rape. This could be a touchy topic for those who have been through similar experiences or are going through such experience and have not realized that they are in such a situation. If in any case, know you are not alone and you're not any less of a person for what you've gone through. This is a character-driven story with a plot that's easy to get into. What I really like about this book is how the villain is a villain. The evil is not suddenly dismissed because of a sappy or pitty redemption story. I also like how the author subtly calls out fans of that trope through the character. Girl, that ain't love, that's abuse. You'll have to read it to find out what I mean. If you prefer classics or want to try classics, then you might want to try this book. It's short at under 300 pages and beautifully written prose that I loved reading each lines over and over again. It's an old book though, and the characters themselves weren't written as homosexual on the surface, but there's a lot of sexual tension between the main male characters. I read an answer on Quora that Oscar Wilde wrote this book as somewhat fantasy autobiography, writing himself into Dorian, Basil, and Lord Henry. The author himself is gay, so there's that. If reading classics feels daunting for you, you can try watching adaptations first to help you get a scope on what the book is about. I haven't watched any though, because I'm not much of a movie person, but that's what helps me get into a classic if reading the first few chapters gets difficult for me. The beauty of this book is in its prose, so knowing the plot by watching the adaptation first will not take away anything from the book at all. So this book was Book Club Philippines Book of the Month last April, which had generally positive reviews. If you want to read just one book that fits the month's theme, just one, then read this. I love this book a lot, and it's perfect for Pride Month. It's easy to read and get lost into because so many things happen, and I couldn't believe that when everything was done, that this book is only 300 plus pages long. No way all of that was discussed and presented well in less than 400 pages. It's amazing. Not in depth, but it hits topics with point. I mean, that's 7 husbands, and there's a lot of side plots that go along with it. Not all are memorable though. I couldn't really bring myself to care about Monique's side plot because Evelyn Hugo is where all my attention is trained to, and rightfully so. The core of the plot is set in the 1960s and onwards, and this is significant because back then gender equality was horrible, and our characters had to go through all that. The struggle they had to go through to manipulate the public perception, and the struggles of accepting who they are and who they have become. It's a common plot really, where a person wants to be a celebrity, has to go through dirty deeds to get through the top, but I love the flow of it. Everything felt so convincing that I constantly questioned, who is this Evelyn? Which famous celebrity is this based on? She just felt so real. This is not a happy book, but it is a great read. If this gets adapted, I hope it would be a series, because I don't think the limited screen time of a movie will be enough. I hope these quick reviews help you pick your next read. As for me, I'll be reading Wicked As You Wish by Rinchu Peko, which by the way has a free audiobook over at Spotify. If you have any recommendations for me, leave a comment and I'll check them out. So, till next time.